Welcome back to Sussex Farm for episode 3 with me, MrSealyp. I was going to start off by saying there's a lot going on Sussex Farm. There always is. Let's just take it as read. Not on any of my Let's Plays. There's going to be a lot going on. Right, here's the update from the last episode. I'm down to £21,000 now. There's a reason. One, I bought this Garant liquid tanker, which was 25,000 I think it was. That's what dropped my money down a little bit, and I thought, right, I've had a go at moving a load of manure, let's have a go at silage and see what I make. Well, I've just driven around. I can sell it directly here and I'll make a little bit, or I can sell it at the BGA and make a little bit, and in the process get some digestate. So I'm going to take this load first and do that. Now, as you've already seen from the start of this episode, K.J.Wiggums Trucking have been very, very busy helping me out. Now, the situation with the seasons, as I got caught out on Oakfield in episode 19 with the animals, as I keep doing on seasons, when you buy them, put one in, take it out and it resets. If you don't, the animal health doesn't go up properly at the rate it should do. So I forgot. Now when I moved on to this, because it all had 5 in each, I then didn't know when I put seasons on whether it would be alright. A lot of people have commented to say it will be fine. Interestingly though, it was sat in the 70% region, 77, 78 for all 3 sets of animals. As soon as I took them out and put them back in again, it went straight to 80%. So I don't know if it would have carried on creeping up and gone above 80 anyway, but I've done it now. So K.J.Wiggums helped me out with the animal trailer, brought it over, did all that. Plus they've bought me another piece of equipment over from the valley, the old farm, the ScorpionKing, awesome bit of kit. That has come over from the valley. Now I'm only using that for a short amount of time, and I'll explain why. I'm not going to go bonkers on forestry like I did on the Valley Old Farm. But the other thing I did, which was a bit of a mistake, I want to have a go at transporting fuel and selling fuel. However, to buy the fuel tanker is going to cost me 27,000. Then I've got to fill it up, which I've been reliably informed for a 60,000 litre container, such as this, it's going to cost about 118,000. I don't have that kind of money. So I thought, okay, if I do a bit of logging, it's early spring, there are some big trees in this map, if I can get enough money just to buy the tanker and the first load, then I'll be okay. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough money to buy the static wood chipper. So here's what I did. I increased my loan. I took out some more of my loan. Don't tell my accountant. So now I've got £130,000 loan rather than 75,000, which is what I started off with. So I'm going to need to pay that off as and when I can. Now I could have just moved money over, spoke to my accountant, got it moved over, but I thought, you know what, let's have a go at this. Let's do it properly. Let's make money. So I'm going to sell this. I'm not going to make a huge amount on this, but again, moving the digestate from place to the slurry, sorry, is about making digestate. It's not so much about making money. I will make a little bit. 3,691, and it cost me, what was it, 1,000? Can't remember what it said now. So I've made a little bit. Not a massive amount of money, but I've made a little bit. So that was to prove the point that I can do that, and I've now got the tanker, and I can move slurry about from place to place as I need to. I'm probably going to leave the tanker here. I'm not sure. I might do. What have I got to do next? Over to the ScorpionKing. Animals are all fed. They're okay. Actually, you know what? I'll take this back to the slurry buy and sell point. That probably makes more sense. So the digestate will now be ticking away. That'll be processed, and I'll be getting some digestate. Which, to be fair, I can buy manure. I can buy slurry fairly cheaply. Which means, you know, I can now sort my fields out fairly inexpensively. That's really, really good. Some other good news coming your way, ladies and gents. The weird thing is, on Oakfield Farm, episode 19, the last one I did on it. What are you doing? What? Seriously? Not even gonna look at me. Oh, yeah, just carry on. Yeah, just plough in. Really don't know. Anyway, as I was saying before I was rudely crashed into, I've been talking to Jim, as I do. The update has gone back into Giants, and unbeknownst to me, another one of those weird twists of fate, I said in Oakfield Farm, Jim has made strides forward with the buy manure and whatever. What we need now is somewhere we can buy straw or straw bales. Jim messaged me to say, as part of the update, what he's included is a straw purchase point. Oh yes, not necessarily bales, but straw. You can go and buy straw, fill up the trailer. Awesome. Right, I'm going to park this. That's amazing news. So, park this up, I'm going to head up to the farm and we'll crack on with what we need to do. So I just remembered, as I was leaving the slurry sell point, buy point, I bought this in episode 1. I mentioned in episode 1, I bought the plough and I've got the Unia. This won't script on, it won't lock so I've got to be incredibly careful how I drive. If I stop suddenly or turn suddenly, this plough's going to go hurtling off here. But this is the wide one. This is the JYMPA SJR. Oh, what did I go for? The 9, was it? Doesn't sound, does it? I can't remember what designation it was. Let me just have a quick look. It's the big one. Anyway, it's the big one. I went with the SJ-11SR. Sorry. Yeah, I normally go for the 9, but I went for the 11. It's bigger. It will do the job. 5.7 metre subsoiler rather than the plough, but it gives the texture of ploughing. And I need all my fields to get going kind of now. So I've got the Optum. Got this on the back. We're going to get this back to the farm. Need to be careful what route I go so it doesn't go bouncing around. See what I mean? That's not good. What is... Oh, it's because it's slid backwards. The Unia does not like this at all. Okay, I might have to rethink this. I don't really want to have to use a plough and have to have K.J.Wiggums to bring... That's not going to work. Why can we not have a trailer with a lock-in script? Or straps, or something to tie down vehicles or equipment? This is going to go sliding off here, isn't it? Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, awesome about Jim sorting out a buy straw. That's absolutely fantastic. The other thing, oh yeah, what else has changed? I say changed. Michael from the airport authority that's told me that I'm responsible now for grass cutting, etc. There is a Profi hopper as part of the deal that he sent me in the email. The message was that I have access to a Profi hopper, mowers if I need them, but Adrian up at Plumpton has got mowers, so that's not too much of a problem. I've also got access to a snowblower for winter, but I also have access to a trailer should I want it. The trailer he said I'd access to is a Cramp Big Body 700, I think it was, 750. So we've kind of renegotiated, and I've now got one of the Cramp, the 59,000 litre semi trailers. So that's kind of worked out alright. So I've got availability for that. Leading on from that, contract wise, Farmer Kinnan from the West Coast, who had a little workshop, did a few bits and bobs, fixed the Massey Ferguson harvester for me and all that kind of stuff. He is now working out of Hagenstead, and out of Hagenstead he needs manure quite desperately. He's willing to give me sheep in exchange for manure, so what I'll be doing is taking loads of manure down to the dock, down to Sussex Port. That will be shipped to him and I will get sheep, so the sheep will start to increase. So that's one contract on the side. I have been asked to help out with a lovely old gentleman that lives in a little cabin out past the airport down towards Abbott's farm. I keep saying Abbott's, Abbott or Abbott's, I'm not too sure. Apparently there's been a tree blown down onto his roof, and they've asked if I can go out and cut the tree down and check for any damage on the roof. There's no payment involved, they can't offer anything much other than their thanks, but I'm more than happy to go down and help. So I think they did say that I would get a chainsaw, but I've already got one, so I'm good with that. So yeah, so I'll get over there and I'll do that at some point. Actually, where am I going? I might as well start ploughing this field, mightn't I? So what I'll do is drop that trailer down there, disconnect, because this tractor will not be able to pull that plough. Take this back, get a bigger tractor. I've still got the offer on a fence. I did get, it's amazing, like I said on Oakfield, the contracts that are coming out. I had Mitch, who was also on Oakfield, that's offered me the use of the Fendt harvester, messaged and said that they're pushing their new range of Fendt 1000s, and would I be interested in one on a kind of loan lease type arrangement. But Barris has already tipped me the wink on one down at the racetrack that needs a bit of work, but I should be able to get cheap. So I'm being offered stuff left, right and centre. It's awesome, absolutely awesome. So for the time being I'm going to use the T8 and I'll start ploughing. I think think that plough requires 380 horsepower and the T8 is 435, so that'll be fine. So like I say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into that ScorpionKing, and I'm going to make enough money to buy the fuel tanker, probably pay off my loan if I can, and what else did I say I was going to do? Buy the fuel tanker. Oh, and enough money to buy the first load of fuel. At least that way I've got a few different ways I can make a bit of income. Obviously there are contracts for any of the farmers locally. I can get on and do contracts with people. That's not a problem as well. Oh, it's a sunny thought. Before I start ploughing I should have slurried maybe. Oh, I can do it after. It's not a problem. Or manure spread. I'm doing manure spreading. So, this is a big old unit, this plough. Came in that from a terrible, terrible angle. What was I thinking? And the other option I did have with this, of course, I could have, now that the, what's it called? The Rayboard Xylor, because the Xylor will now work off front loaders, 3-point linkages. I could have, why didn't I think of that? I could have done that, couldn't I? Maybe as an additional plough cultivator type thing. Now, will this let me hire a worker to do it? Just a bit. Straight away. Brilliant. Well done, MrSealyp. Perfect, so that's now ploughing. This is the field that shows us ploughed, but it isn't actually ploughed. I will plough all of my field before I start anyway, simply because I want maximum yield out of them. I'm going to be sticking barley in a couple, wheat in a couple. I'm not going particularly weird or diverse on crops to start off with, because I'm trying to work on the brewery and get that up and running again, so I need barley for the maltings. Now, I know I'm doing a lot of talking today, I apologise, maybe I should... Mind you, I started off with a bit of a kind of time-lapsey musical interlude. What I was going to say, yes, as far as the update goes for this map, Jim has submitted it to Giants, so however long it takes them to work their magic and do whatever they do, and then the update should ping out. Now, Jim has reliably informed me there will be no need for a new save game. However, it is entirely plausible that you might need to. He doesn't think so, but strange things happen when things go into Giants. I'm not too sure why. A few modders and different people have seen things on forums regarding mods that have come in and they've come out the other end after testing and they've been changed or altered. Now, Giants are adamant they haven't touched them, they haven't fiddled with them. They take in what they get, they test it, check it, and then it comes out the other side. So I don't know. The thing as well is that people like Jim, this is what I've gleaned from Jim, and speaking to a couple of other modders a couple of times, I've had little conversations here and there, that they obviously make their mods and their maps on PC. They put everything in to adjust it to be able to work on console, but they have no way of testing that. So it gets submitted into Giants, they do all their testing to say, actually, okay, this is great, this will work. Then it gets put out to consoles, and as Jim said, when this map came out, there were some things that hadn't transferred across how he'd hoped. Some of the textures weren't quite right, there were some things that had, you know, you get these gremlins in the machine, and you get bits of code that seem to do odd things. I don't know why, I don't know how it works. So, whilst there shouldn't be any need for a new save game, never say never kind of thing. Hopefully not, because like I said, if there is a need for an update, I'm going to be in real trouble because I spent a lot of time preparing this. If I have to go back to the start and do it again, I don't know what I will do, because it took me hours and hours. So yeah, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it will all be okay and there'll be no need. He has mentioned to me a few of the things that have been changed, and it's impressive. He's got rid of a whole load of trees to make it less laggy and glitchy in places. Some of the sell points triggers have been changed. He has added in a couple of sell points here and there, adjusted a couple of sell points here and there, just to make it all, you know, a bit more playable. It's all about the gamers. That's what Jim, you know, when he gets feedback, he goes straight back to the drawing board and he cracks on and starts trying to change things for the better. He's an absolute gent in that regard. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to leave this to carry on ploughing. I do need to get a manure spreader because I don't have one. But what I might do is slurry spread to start off with. But that again will need to wait because I haven't got enough money to buy any of that. So off to the woodland. Sorry, I shall get out of my worker's way. Off to the woodland. I've moved the ScorpionKing from where K.J.Wiggums Trucking dropped it off. Nice. And I think it's over in... Where did I put the wood chipper? I got the JENZ static one. I sold it on Oakfield because I wasn't using it, but I'm thinking it might be a little bit more beneficial on this map. We shall see. If I were a younger, fitter man, this hill wouldn't be too much of a problem. Unfortunately, I'm not. Oh, right, okay. So we are now in the north-west corner of the map. Well, not quite up in the corner. Just below field 1 and 2. And like I said when I did the first look, there's plenty of logging opportunity around on this map. And these trees are a little bit bigger than the ones that are on Oakfield, so I'm hoping I can make a bit more money. Now I did come over here with a chainsaw. Where are the tree stumps gone? I cut about 2 or 3 trees down. Oh, there you go, there's one in there. I cut a couple of trees down, chopped them all up, threw them through the wood chipper, but it's hard to tell how much you're getting per tree because it does it like 300 at a time, then 400, then 200, and you're never quite sure. So, without further ado, let's jump inside. Now, I've always gone out into the menu to change the cut length, and I think it was, well, several people, Barris included. I know Barris definitely did. If you go inside the cab, and I do L1 and triangle, you see that number change 100 to 200, 300, 400, 500. That's the metre cut lengths. So 1 is 1 metre to 2 metres and so on and so forth. So I normally leave mine on 1 metre, so there's no problem whatsoever. Come back out. Let's pick a tree, let's get it through the chipper, see how much money we make, and then what I'll probably do is run a few through, try and get a bit of money built up so I can get the bits of equipment I need. Now I'm not sure if this wood chipper, if the ScorpionKing is going to go back to the Valley Old Farm, whether it will be transferred back when I've done what I need to do or not. I might do. I'm just thinking with everything ready on the Valley Old Farm for harvest now, if I make enough money on the harvest, I don't honestly think I don't need them. Think I'm going to need it. But we'll see. Just see what we get per tree. I'm thinking around 6,000. I'm hoping around 6,000. I could be well off. I know on Valley Old Farm, trees were worth their weight in gold. They were really, really good. But I don't know. I honestly don't know if map makers set the price or it's just kind of a given. Not looking too bad. Even if it's only 5 grand, I can still knock through a few and make a little bit of money. That's how we go. I know the price will drop over the year, but how are we looking? Let's give it a couple of seconds to set itself, and then we'll see what we made. 6,879. That's good. Okay, that means with a few trees run through this, I should be okay for paying off the loan. I should be okay to buy the fuel tanker and maybe even a muck spreader. I might well do a muck spreader as well. We'll see how that goes. Like I say, I could have just brought the money over with me. My accountant wouldn't let me, so I'm doing this the old-fashioned way. I'm making money. Now I admit I brought the ScorpionKing over with me, but why not? I worked hard for it. But what I have noticed, and you probably have noticed, the eagle-eyed among you will have noticed this already, I think, and I don't like casting aspersions, but I think in transport, and I'm not saying K.J.Wiggums Trucking are doing it, but someone's tampering with the clocks on these vehicles, because this had a lot of hours on it, and that's now showing as 0. Now I'm pretty sure that's illegal. You can't do that. You're supposed to just leave them, aren't you? You buy a vehicle, you need to know how many hours it's got on it. That says 0, and I know I put a lot of hours on this. So yeah, bit of an odd one. Maybe we'll get to the bottom of it. Who knows? Actually, I'm going to stay on the flat for the time being. Run a few through. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to how this all works, you might be new to the game. Indeed. Come on. Why is that working? Probably because I'm nowhere near it. That's better. The static wood chipper that I'm using, the JENZ. If you've heard this before, you can look away or hum to yourself, it's up to you. The static wood chipper, for some reason, I don't know why, you can just chuck logs through this and you'll get the same, I say the same, it depends on the size of the tree, but roughly the same. The price doesn't drop. If I used a normal wood chipper and wood chipped into a trailer or wood chipped into a massive pile, as soon as I went and sold those wood chips, the price would fluctuate. For some reason, using this, they don't. So you're kind of guaranteed a regular kind of income, so to speak. It's a little bit like putting the putting wood chips through the Heisermat placeable heating plant thing. That's kind of like that as well. And the price has always been fairly good on this, so I don't mind using this, the JENZ. I know it's that kind of suspend reality in a way, because you've got to ask yourself, if it's going through that wood chipper and they're being sold, where are they going once they go through that wood chipper? They just kind of vanish. I don't know. You know, it's here, I'm using it, it works well, I have found it works well. So I shall continue. I'll see you in a bit when I've made a little bit more money, and we'll see what we're going to get up to next. Right, I've brought over a tanker of slurry, ready for slurry spreading, if I can sort out a slurry spreader. Been on the phone to Adrian, he says he's got one up at the scrap yard. It's not in great condition. You might have seen it up there when we were up there getting some bits and bobs. When we were collecting the Tatra Turno, you might have seen it. But I have now got 159,000 from cutting down trees, and just to prove I've not been doing anything untoward. Trees cut down, 21, there we go. So, 21 trees cut down. What I'm going to do now let's head up to the store. We're going to pick up a fuel tanker, or the tanker back thing, and then hopefully with that and what's left, I've got enough to fill it up. Then what we're going to do is supply the airport with fuel. So another one of our jobs. I think one of the big differences I think I'm finding on this Let's Play is we're kind of almost like not an odd job man, but kind of a fix-it kind of guy, providing manure to people and slurry here and there and fuel up to the airport and the jobs when it. I might as well just drive across here. Yeah, and having to make sure we can keep the airport clear. I think at some point we need to provide water and manure to the greenhouses for the lady at the fruit and veg stall. So yeah, I think whilst we're going to try and get the brewery up and running, and I've got a couple of ideas for that too, we're going to be doing a lot of jobs for other people, you know, helping out, supplying them with things. It's all good. Now what I am slightly concerned about is this is a very steep hill, and when that tanker is full with 60,000 litres of fuel, will I be able to get up that hill with it? Fingers crossed. I think I went with the is it 480 horsepower this one? I can't remember which one I went for. It's going to be interesting. We shall see. So let's see how this pans out, shall we? I believe it's under miscellaneous. There we go. Oh, it's only 20,000. Obviously, did I get mixed up? That's right, that one worked out at 27 with the changes I made. This one's 20. Interesting though that one shows it does milk. Pity it doesn't on console. That would be awesome. So standard. No, we'll have white tyres. Rim colour, I'm going to go with yellow, red and yellow, proper fiery kind of. I mean, I don't. That sounds really weird, doesn't it? I don't want it to be fiery. I don't want it to be a fireball. I want the fuel to stay where it is, not to ignite and cause any kind of injuries. But I suppose it kind of gives you that warning. This has got fuel in it, and I think it actually says on it, doesn't it? Diesel fuel only. To make sure I go to the diesel pump at the fuel station. Right. Let's see what happens, shall we? So I've got 138,000 in the bank. If it takes 118, that should leave me about 20,000. And when I started this endeavour, I think I had 23, didn't I? Or what did I have in the end? Oh, I sold a bit of slurry, didn't I? So I had 25. So I'm about 5 grand out. So that's a tree through the wood chipper. Now I did it again when I was driving. What was I driving the other day? And I forgot to turn the indicators off again. Keep doing it. I don't want to be. Right. Scary time. Watch the money plummet. What? Please stop. Oh, yeah, 118,000. Whoa, 118,800. Well, this is certainly going to be interesting. Let's get those beacons on. Okay, so I have to get a run up on this hill. I'm not going to get much of a run up, am I actually? Hopefully there's no traffic, so I can swing around and just keep going. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. What is this going to slow down to? Because if I come out sideways, this is quite steep. And we're down to 9, 8, 7, 6. We're still pulling at 6 miles an hour. Come on. You can do this. And we're there. Right, okay. So, I wonder what we're going to make. Now, I would imagine you're not going to be able to do this very often. So I would imagine what you're going to make on it is going to really drop drastically. So maybe that'll be the test, then will be to check it a second time and see the difference. It's just something dawned on me, I don't have a seeder either. Right, let's get this swung in. Hopefully the trigger comes up, because if that doesn't work either, I've had it. Oh, there we go. Right then. Let's see. Whoa, hold your horses. What does that say? 181,000. So it cost me 118, say 120. That's 60 grand. I made 60,000 on that. That's not bad. 60 grand on one load. There's some money to be made in supplying fuel to airports, I think. Right, now, do I take a punt and will I get away with that a second time? I'm not going to make 60 grand, I know that, but that's not bad, that. Let's get down the hill, let's do it again, one more time. Let's see. Want to make sure I've really filled the tanks up at the airport, you know. Now, nothing you can do, and I think it's going to be another one of my jobs that I'm responsible for. Jack of all trades, the car wash on the left hand side here. Got a couple of water tanks, they need those refilling every now and again. The beauty with those tanks, they've got filters like just filters, I guess. I mean, like filters. They've got filters, and you can stick seawater in those. So I'll be alright if I go and fill up down at the. Obviously not with this tanker, maybe the other one. Yeah, I can bring it down around there. Those two green tanks just opposite at the car wash, and they'll pay me for water. That's not going to be as much money I wouldn't have thought on water, but again, it's another way to make a bit of money. Providing a service. Which is not too bad because the journey's not too far, is it? It's not like we've got to go halfway across the map. So this probably get and walk faster. I hope the police catch whoever that is on that motorbike, because wherever they're driving, riding, they're dangerous. I don't think I'm going to make anywhere near as much this time. I made less. What? What does that say? 100 and... how's that worked out? I just lost 8 grand. That was horrendous. 60 grand on the first job, and I walked away with that with 200 and something thousand. Just filled up and sold it again, and I've lost money. I should have been up on that deal. Okay, well, note to self. Only ever do that once. I'm not sure when that price will bounce back again, but I won't be doing it anytime soon, that's for certain. That's kind of worrying. Right. Oh, there you go, that's what I was talking about. I'm trying to work out, where should I leave this tanker? Actually, you know what? It's only going to be fuel up here for the... unless I need fuel down at the port any time, but I don't think there's anywhere to sell it down there. I'll leave the tanker just here. Okay, well that's a lesson learnt. There's me thinking, yeah, money, money, money. Right, there we go. So there's the cramped trailer. So I've got the little Profi hopper, that's for cutting the grass, which it does need at the moment. Snow blower for winter, for keeping the runway clear. And we've got the cramp. I can't remember the number of this one either. Can we get across the back there? It's not even on there. Whichever one this... I know it's 59,000 litres. But anyway, so yeah, that's going to be quite handy. Just thinking actually whether or not I could do one of my loads now. Do a load, get it down to the dock for Farmer Kinnan of manure. Seems I'm a bit flush with the old bank account at the moment. I mean, to be fair, I've still come out of that fairly okay, I guess. In that I had 138, didn't I? So I've made money. I've made money. Question is what way to go without destroying this vehicle, because it's very rocky. Turn the beacons off. I can try the rocky route down to the livestock market. Let's fill this up with manure. I do need to go negotiate with Farmer Kinnan how many sheep I will get per load. I suppose it depends how desperate he is for the manure, isn't it? Anyway, well, that said, I think the manure delivery is going to have to be in the next episode, because I think we've come to the end. So we need to go. The end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We've got a little bit done. We've made a little bit of money here and there. We do need to get a seeder. We probably need to get a muck spreader. Maybe a bit of muck spread in the next episode as well. I need to get my fields processed. Anyway, yeah, if you have enjoyed it, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. I really shouldn't have come this way. Whatever you should choose to do, that's... Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.